much Jack and too much Jim. My head's still pounding like a big bass drum. I'm reaching over for an accent, but they're already gone. Another crazy night in this cowboy's life. 'Cause I do what I wanna, do what I please, and all the bartenders let me drink for free. Everybody knows my name, and to me, you know it's just a game. Well, I get on stage and give the fans my heart, singing every night in a local bar. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. It's a day in the life of a hillbilly rock star. Now along this road, there's a lot I learned, and everything I got, I worked hard to earn. I give it all up because I love my fans. But if you don't like me, well, I don't give a damn. It ain't hard to see why people wanna live like me. It's 'cause I do what I want, I do what I please, and all the bartenders let me drink for free. Everybody knows my name, and to me, you know it's just a game. Well, I get on stage and give the fans my heart, singing every night in a local bar. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. It's a day in the life of a hillbilly rock star. We roll into town, got a country swagger, keep the music turned up and got moves like Haggard. You can find us hanging out every night. It's a little bucked up, but we're all alright. Don't hurt to drink. Hey, let me hear you sing that I do what I want, do what I please, and all the bartenders let me drink for free. Everybody knows my name, and to me, you know it's just a game. Well, I get on stage and give the fans my heart, 'cause thanks to them, I'm a big old star. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. It's a day in the life of a hillbilly rock star. Hillbilly rock star.
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Racing Network's live coverage of the Hales Corners Speedway Sim Racing Series. Drivers at Knoxville tonight. Street stocks on tap for you first, and then we'll bring them back with the limited late models right after that. 25-lap feature in our street stocks. Got 25 drivers checked in for tonight. Should be a whale of a show for you. Appreciate everybody taking the time to check in with us tonight. I saw Tim Nichols was already saying hi in the chat. I appreciate that, Tim. Want to thank my man Dominic for jumping on the NDRA race today. I was otherwise occupied and could not get there, so I want to say thanks to him for making sure those guys got covered. Hope everybody checked that one out today, too. Drivers in their drivers meeting right now. They're going to get ready for their qualifying efforts here in about a minute and 30 seconds, give or take. They get ready to do that. You know, we always honor our nation with our invocation and our national anthem right when they get ready to go to qualifying. Couple of special paint jobs. I know that Mr. Kinjerski has a retro scheme, a throwback, an homage to his father from 1993 on his street stock today. So we are definitely going to be taking a look at that one. Just waiting for the guys to get through the driver's meeting. They'll start crawling in the cars, getting ready to head out for their qualifying efforts, and we'll be ready to start our pre-race ceremonies. But in the meantime, don't forget, coming back with these guys about 9:15-ish Eastern time, and then Dominic will have NARC about that same time, within about 5 or 10 minutes of that, and he will be on Facebook only. Don't forget your likes, your shares, your follows over on the Facebook page. And if you're on YouTube and Twitch, subscribe to the channel. Say hi on the chat. I don't care where you're at. But it is time for our pre-race ceremonies. We're going to turn it over to public address now.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, big thank you to the Foleys. for all that they do for us right now. I think all the drivers pretty much put in their time. Maybe Zach Kruger, the only driver to have not put in time. Nick Sobiak, quickest in qualifying, 23.289 seconds, 23.321 for Reed Rundle, and 331 for Chris Johnson. So those will be your three quick qualifiers. With the invert for their starting spots in heats, they will start row number 2. I saw Scott King saying something about causing caution. Scott, that is unacceptable. Please do not do that. Got to give Scotty a little grief. He's one of my regular admins for my other series, and he knows it's tough love for sure. About a minute left in the qualifying session. With everybody having already qualified, they may advance this at any moment, so we're going to be prepared for all of that. But in the meantime, a couple of thank yous. Want to make sure that we thank everybody over at School of Sim Racing for getting on board to help with Dirt Racing Network sponsorship. Tim at Tim Sims all the time, and Rocket Setups for coming on board with us. Going to be some good partnerships going into 2021, and we appreciate that greatly. All of our regular partners for all the series and everything that help do what they can for these guys to get them on the air. I'm sure every single one of these leagues appreciates every bit of that, but I know that we do, so that they can be on air with us. Don't forget about Racecast, guys. Racecast app, Google phones, Apple phones, doesn't matter. Go over to your App Store, get Racecast. There is a ton of stuff in there. You get to watch live races. They have several streaming services that are attached to that, and you can watch any of their live racing. All right, heat race number 1 about to grid out on the front stretch. I hear the cars warming up. On the pole for heat race number 1, I was just talking about this guy, the SKD, Kings Color and Chrome, Team SKD, number 118 from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, going to be Scott King, and on his outside, that orange and black machine, the 99 car, Brandon Holm. Row 2, inside. The 1 car, J.J. Schilling. On his outside, the RLV Faster Motors VLR, number 23 from Big Bend, Wisconsin, Nick Sobiak. 3rd row on the inside, Jim Butcher. 117 car on the outside of him, John Brunner in the 46. 4th row on the inside, the Buddies Racing Equipment I-41 Raceway, number 17 from Slinger, Wisconsin, Dean Burton. To the outside of him, the 34 of Dean Gagliano. And on the back row by himself, newcomer to the series, the 35 car of Zach Kruger. So we'll roll heat race number 1 out. Top 5 drivers go straight to the feature. We'll take 3 heat races. That'll make 15. We'll find 5 from our B main here in just a little bit. See some Andy Gross fans. Mr. Carroll. All right, lights off on the pace truck. We're going green to this time out of turn number 4. Scott King and Brandon Hull. Looks like Dean Burnt went back to his original scheme. Hasn't been in that orange, red, and yellow car since the beginning of the season, but he is back in that 17 car.
Green flag.
Green flag in the air. Heat race number 1 underway. It looks like Brandon Holt going to get a pretty good start on the outside. He may have the lead down the backstretch when we come out of turn 2, but a good run off the bottom and dead even. Heading into turn 3, Scott King, can he keep the 118 down on the bottom? Maybe just a little bit of fender-to-fender contact there, but King's going to come away with the lead at the end of lap number 1. Hull is going to sit second. Schilling was on the bottom looking at third, and here comes Sobiak in the 23 machine. He is working his way down the backstretch, trying to find an opening, but Schilling worked to the inside of Hull. There's going to be a battle for second. Behind that, Jim Butcher, the 117, sitting in that fifth and final transfer spot, and he's got company already. Going to come out of turn 1 into turn 2 and down the backstretch, and they are still side by side. Schilling now making a bid to take the lead away from Scott King. Schilling working down the inside, able to get the one car out in front, full car length at the line. King second, Sobiak, Hall, and Butcher. And Butcher hanging on to fifth despite running the outside. Burnt, not able to find the momentum on the bottom to get there and challenge for that final direct transfer spot. Sobiak got around Hall. That moves him into third. Now he's going to start to peek down the inside. He may take a shot at King here. 4 down, 6 to go. Still in heat number 1. As soon as I said something about Burnt not being able to find the momentum, he takes fifth away for the moment. But Butcher tried to work down, and then the two get hooked together, metal to metal contact, fender to fender. They both go way to the outside, going to open up the door for Brunner to get back in. John Brunner in the 46 machine going to be able to get back. 3-car battle for fifth if they can get them back close together. 5 laps remain. Sobiak around King into second. Checks King up a little. Hall had to check up to keep from getting into the left rear corner. Off of 2, Schilling, Sobiak, King, Hall, still Butcher in fifth. Burnt now trying to find some momentum to get back up there. Made a good challenge of it a little bit ago. Just trying to bring the 17 car back into position. Maybe move that 117 up the hill and force him to get off the line. Sobiak almost drove that into 3 pretty deep. Checked it up. And Schilling slammed the door on the bottom. 2 to go this time by. Scott King hanging tough in at third right there behind Sobiak and Schilling right in front of Hall. Now Sobiak out of shape, moves up the hill, opens the bottom up for King. He's going to try to make a run for the lead on the outside coming to the white flag. 1 to go. Nick Sobiak working the top side. Trying to find momentum up high, and he's got a little bit. They're going to be dead even. Into turn 3. Schilling up on the berm. Big check. He's going to make contact. That's going to hit King. Sobiak will win it. Hall's going to come away with second. King third. Butcher gets around to fourth, and Dean Burnt is going to steal that all-important direct transfer spot after the contact for Schilling. So Schilling, Brunner, Kruger, and Gagliano into our B main. Heat 1 in the books. We'll be ready for heat number 2 here. It's going to be the 15 car, the ski graphic machine of David Kinjerski. I told you it was a homage, a throwback to his dad's car of 1993. He will start on the pole. To the outside of him, the Henco Waterjet Supply Shark RC Bodies, Gross Racing number 14 from Hartford, Wisconsin, Andy Gross. Row 2 on the inside, the Kurzik Electric LLC, number 00 from Waukesha, Wisconsin, Blake Johnson. And on the outside of him, the Buddies Racing Equipment, TDC Race Team, number 43 from Oxford, Michigan, Reed Rundle. Third row inside, Caden Carlson, the 29. On the outside of him, the Sorens Ford, number 11 from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Ricky Johnson. In the fourth row, on the inside, Nick Smalley, the 25. On the outside of him, Jason Enoch in the 66. It's scheduled to be on the back, but I do not believe that gentleman will be participating in the race. Is the 77 of Gary Budzine. But I think Gary is playing admin race control, so he will stay up in the booth. We will go down close to trackside here. Get a look at the 15 car. Got a message from David earlier today. Reminding me that he was driving something special. All right. Lights out on the pace truck. Green out of 4. Next time, Kinjerski and the king of the restart, Mr. Andy Gross on our front row. Should be an exciting start to heat race number 2. What was I thinking? All right, pace truck will make the hard left-hand turn.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag in the air. Good start for your front row. Going to be dead even coming out of 2, maybe half a car for Gross. Now clear into the lead. Andy Gross, and on the outside, Reed Rundle trying to use that high side momentum. I guarantee you, he was watching the first heat race. He saw Sobiak do it. So he is going to work to the high side. Now cuts underneath Kinjerski. Ooh, almost a little contact there with Johnson. Johnson got up on to the berm, and I do think there was maybe just a little contact, and it slowed Rundle down just a bit. It opened up the door and allowed Carlson to sneak by and take over 4th. Now he gets up on the berm out of turn 4, and that's going to allow the high side momentum of Johnson to take that spot back over. So it's Gross, Kinjerski, Rundle, Johnson, and then Carlson at the end of 2. And now Andy Gross starting to work his way away from David Kinjerski. Reed Rundle still hanging on to 3rd. Good battle. Starting to brew for 4th and 5th. Johnson had the 0-0 on the inside. Just not enough momentum. Got it out of shape. Had to settle back in. Ricky Johnson still hanging on to 6. Enoch. And then Smalley a good distance back. Rundle puts the left sides up on the berm. Didn't help him out a bit. Helps the car turn just a little, but if you get it too far up there to actually get the car loose enough, you lose momentum. Kinjerski trying to lock that thing down right against the berm. Andy Gross easily staying out in front of these guys, 0.6 of a second right now. Kinjerski and Rundle very close in a battle, and so are Carlson and Johnson. That's your top 5. Four laps to go that time by Big Blink from the 15 car of Kinjerski. Rundle starting to close the gap. Focus in on the 43 machine to keep the blinking to a minimum. Good battle here starting to brew. Rundle to the high side. Going to find some momentum. Now pulls alongside. Big momentum down the backstretch. He has got about a half a car, quarter of a car as they entered 3. He may have this spot when they come out of turn 4. If he can keep the momentum up, Kinjerski up the hill, turns it down to keep it off, gives up the spot. Move Rundle to 2nd with 2 to go. Kinjerski back to 3rd. Carlson still in front of Blake Johnson. Now Carlson extends the gap on Johnson. So Johnson's still in 5th, and he's got about 1.6 seconds between 5th and 6th. So he is comfortably into the show if he can keep the 0-0 facing forward for one more lap. Andy Gross already under the white flag. Still maintains about 0.6 of a second over Rundle. Out of 4. Final time. Checkered flag out over the field. Gross wins heat 2. Rundle, Konjerski, Carlson, and Blake Johnson go into the feature. Ricky Johnson, Jason Enoch, and Nick Smalley will be in the B main. All right, we will get ready for heat race number 3. On the pole, the Scrub It Up Car Wash Black Flag Racing number 8 from Waterford, Wisconsin, Peter Breesen on his outside. And then NOS Energy Drink number 18, Jordan Matson. Row 2 on the inside. It says Dylan on the side of it. It's a 33 machine. I know that says Mountain Dew right in front of those numbers. It's Cal Trito in that car. And the Shark RC car bodies number 112 from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin. Going to be Chris Johnson. Third row inside, the Renegade Race Cars, Renegade Racing number 67 from Hartford, Wisconsin, R.J. Tackman. On his outside, the Pincala Auto Solutions, number 41 from Oak Creek, Wisconsin, Ryan Fisher. Fourth row on the inside, the Burnside Motorsports, number 55 from Franklin, Wisconsin, of John Burnside. And on his outside, the Black Flag Racing, number 10 from West Allis, Wisconsin. They call him Itch. It's Tony Ichkowski. Eight more cars, 10 more laps. We will have 15 locked into the feature. We'll send 3 of these guys to the B main, take 10 cars in that B main, and keep 5. New paint on the 112 machine. That car normally black. It's kind of purpley blue numbers on it. Tonight, wholly different. All right, green this time.
Green, green, green.
Green in the air. Heat race 4 underway. Oh, interesting start up front. Outside front row did not get going pretty good. And he got a little shot in the pants right there from the 112 car. Now gets moved up the hill by Trito. Trito gets semi-turned to the inside. He's going to get the car righted. But he is going to fall all the way to the back of the pack. Kyle Trito going to have a little bit of fun trying to catch up. R.J. Tackman, the last car to get away from that, and he's one of the guys that was involved in the contact. And now we're going to have to see what happens. R.J. may have to work his way from the B main. Burnside already took the 55 car to the infield. The whole left front side of that car is gone. So 7 remaining on track. Peter Brees in front of Chris Johnson, Jordan Matson, Ryan Fisher, and Tony Ichkowski. Ichkowski up on the berm, got a little sideways. Going to allow Trito to get back in the mix with him here as he goes way wide, both cars, way up the hill. In turns 3 and 4. Three down, 7 to go. Still Peter Brees out in front of Chris Johnson, and Johnson's working the 112 car just a little higher each and every lap, trying to find extra momentum, keep the car wound up. Easy peasy there. He is closing the gap about, a foot every 10 car lengths. He can keep that up. He can get his nose to the outside. Brees probably won't have much of a choice but to give up the spot. Now going to take it to the inside down here halfway home. Don't think that is going to do what he thought it was going to. Just too much momentum right above that slick line. Brees able to hang on. Brees way wide in 3 and 4. That may open the door for Chris Johnson. Ryan Fisher, a good distance back here, about 1 full second. But he's closing the gap, running right above the slick. Watching these two start to go at it. They're losing time to him in handfuls. Matson still third. Tritto got around Ichkowski. Now Ichkowski sixth. Then Tackman and Burnside. Burnside in the infield has been since we got down to turn 4 on lap number 1. As he took the 55 car hard into the pits after the turn 2 incident. 2 to go this time by. Peter Brees still in front. But Johnson not giving up. Keeps closing the gap, looking for a spot. Just too much momentum off that top side right now. Way wide that time. Couple of car widths above the groove was Peter Brees. But he gets to the white flag first. 4 more corners. Here comes Johnson. Can he get anything done through the slick? I find it hard to believe. Anything good can come of that move right there. As Brees extends another car and a half. Now wide through 3 and 4. Is that enough? No, this time Johnson hits the berm. Peter Brees wins heat 3. Chris Johnson second. Ryan Fisher, Jordan Matson, Kyle Trito, your top 5. Ichkowski, Tackman, and Burnside will be in the B main. All right, B main going to line up on the end of pit road out here. John Brunner, Tony Ichkowski in row 1. Ricky Johnson, J.J. Schilling, row 2. Jason Enoch and R.J. Tackman in row 3. Dean Gagliano and Nick Smalley in row number 4. Row 5. John Burnside and Zach Kruger. So, 10 cars. Only car not gridded out yet. There he is. Tony Ichkowski as he is ready to go now. $15 laps, top 5 get to remain. Everybody else done for session 1 in the street stocks. All right, lights off on the pace truck. B main going to get underway out of turn number 4. John Brunner, Tony Ichkowski leading us to that green flag. Hello, Mr. Hosking. I just now saw you in chat, sir. How you doing, buddy? All right, pace truck, hard left into the infield right there. Just waiting on the starter to show him the green blanket.
Green, green, green.
There it is, green flag in the air. Single file line deep back there from about 7th on. I don't know what they were doing single file, but up at the front, it is going to be a big mass of cars. J.J. Schilling's going to get turned a little sideways. He's going to be up on the berm. No cautions all the way until the feature. So these guys are going to have to fight for it. Everybody getting all kinds of strung out after that contact. Brunner, Ichkowski, Tackman, Gagliano, and Nick Smalley. Right now, your top 5. J.J. Schilling working to the high side in that one car. He may have that 5th spot coming out of turn number 2. He is right behind the 34 of Dean Gagliano. Gagliano in 4th, Schilling in 5th. Smalley now in 6th. That's the yellow, blue, and black car. And a little out of shape there from the 25 machine, so he's going to fall a little bit back. Schilling works to the inside of Gagliano. That's for 4th. Tackman now working to the top side of Ichkowski for 2nd. Top 3 on your screen now. Chkowski in the 10, sitting in second, but maybe not for long. Tackman with a good run around the top side. Not quite that time at the line. Tackman will have to work a little bit harder. Now a little contact with the right rear corner, and that moves him up the hill, gives Chkowski some breathing room. Schilling, Gagliano still 4 and 5. Smalley way out of shape. 25 car in front of traffic. Doesn't get hit by anybody. He's going to keep it going. He'll fall all the way to 10th. Jason Enoch, now the yellow and green car, sitting in 6th, and he's got about 6 seconds to catch up to Gagliano. Was out of 2 as they go into 1. We're going to go back to the front. They're going to have 10 to go this time by in the B main. And Tackman starting to reel Chkowski back in. Chkowski out of shape. That's going to open the door. Tackman with a good drive off the bottom. Door-to-door contact down the backstretch. Now Chkowski up the hill. He gives up second to Tackman. Tackman now able to face straight forward, look right at the back of the 46 machine and focus on that task. Chkowski back to third. Schilling's closed in, top 4. Now in a pretty good battle here. Oh, little bit of tag right there, and Tackman going to back up. He's going to have the opportunity to stay in 5th as it is a long ways back. He's going to get the car right and be able to hang on to that 5th and final transfer spot as Enoch was over 6 seconds behind. Now it's down to 4. That is going to give Brunner a lot of space over Schilling, about 1.3 seconds. Going to be a little less than that at the line this time, I think, down to about 1.1. Still 6 laps to go when we get back around this time. Brunner, Schilling, Chkowski, Gagliano, and Tackman. Tackman able to maintain that 3.5 seconds over Enoch right now. He's in a transfer spot. Don't know if there's much damage to the 67 car. Looked like pretty light contact, so probably not a whole lot going on right now. Smalley and Kruger both in the pits, as you see right in front of your leaders as the battle starts to heat up. With 5 to go, they're going to be into lap traffic here pretty quick. That is Ricky Johnson in front of them. Schilling now trying to work the inside slide job across the nose. Schilling takes the lead away from Brunner with 4 laps to go. Chkowski still third. Gagliano and Tackman. Tackman still about 3.5 seconds, almost exactly 3.5 seconds ahead of Jason Enoch. New leader at the front, still reeling in the 11 car, Ricky Johnson. Johnson running 8th. I don't know if these guys will get there and be able to put him a lap down with 3 laps to go. I think that is a dangerous proposition, Mr. Hoskins. I think a lot of those guys understand exactly how much speed that place is going to carry. I hope they have beefed up their safety equipment quite a bit. 2 to go in the B main. J.J. Schilling, John Brunner, Tony Chkowski, Dean Gagliano, and R.J. Tackman. Right now, your 5 transfer cars, and Tackman losing a little bit of that 3.5 seconds down to 3.15 with just a couple of laps to go. But as long as he can keep it going forward, I think he's going to be okay. He's going to have a transfer spot. White flag in the air. I didn't think they would get to Johnson. Put him a lap down, so he'll be safe to stay on the lead lap. But J.J. Schilling will be in your feature tonight. He is going to start in the 16th spot when we roll him out here for the 25-lap A main shortly. as he picks up the win in the B main. Then Brunner, Ichkowski, Gagliano, and Tackman will round out that A main field. Enoch, Burnside, Johnson, Smalley, and Kruger will have to wait for session number 2. All right, everybody ready to go. Quick look at the points in this series as we get back to points racing for the Street Stock guys. Reed Rundle, 402 points. Nick Sobiak, 384, and Andy Gross at 374. Then it's J.J. Schilling and R.J. Tackman behind that. And you just watched a couple of those guys work their way into the A-Main. So, time for our feature. It's going to be Chris Johnson on the pole, Reed Rundle to his outside. Brandon Hull and Peter Brees in row 2, Andy Gross and Nick Sobiak in row 3. Row 4, Scott King and David Konjerski, Ryan Fisher and Jim Butcher in row number 5. Row 6, Caden Carlson, Jordan Matson, Dean Burnt and Blake Johnson in row 7. Row 8, Kyle Trito and J.J. Schilling. Row 9, John Brunner and Dean Gagliano. And the back row, R.J. Tackman and Jason Enoch. What did I miss? There was a car that was supposed to transfer from the B, must have gotten DQ'd. Jason Enoch finished 6th in that race. So, field filled in. We'll let these guys run their pace laps. All right, back just in time for the green flag to come out. A big thank you to all of our supporters. Chris Johnson waiting for the green flag. Reed Rundle on the outside of him. Green flag in the air. Good start by both drivers on the front row. Who's going to have the advantage? Through 1 and 2, Rundle. On the top side, not able to make it go. Chris Johnson with good drive off the bottom. He's got the lead headed into 3. Brandon Hull into 3rd. And then it is a 3-wide battle. Gross, Sobiak, and Brees. There's almost some contact. Sobiak, the guy squeezed in the middle. He goes up, gets into the side of Konjerski. That's right in front of Ryan Fisher. Scott King makes his way by on the bottom, moves himself into 6th. Still Johnson, then Rundle, then Hull, now Andy Gross. Clears everyone, moves himself into 4th. Good battle for 5th. Scott King, Peter Brees, and David Konjerski. Little contact there. That's going to open the door. Konjerski's going to get by clean. Scott King battling back in the 118 car on the outside. This is a battle for 5th. Now Konjerski clear into 5th. King to 6th. Blake Johnson and Peter Brees side by side for 7th. Peter up the hill. So Brees going to give up 2 spots right there. He loses 1 to Johnson, 1 to Carlson. Move him to 9th in front of Sobiak and Fisher. Those two battling door to door. Literally door to door. They went 3 wide with Brees as they both get by. Brees loses 2 more spots. Oh, down the hill, gets a little contact there. Tackman got a little contact too. He's going to get hooked up on the back of the 117 to Butcher. They're both going to end up in the infield. No caution, cars out of the racing groove. Back to the front, Rundle still second behind Johnson. Now Gross around Hull into third. Hull fourth and Kinjerski in fifth. Reed Rundle trying to go top shelf again. He found some momentum in his heat race this way. Now trying to work the outside on Johnson. Lost about a half a car that time. Still trying to find the momentum. Think if he goes wide in 3 and 4, it's a bad deal for him. He's going to have to keep using that line in 1 and 2, and maybe here in 3 and 4 just have to tuck in until he can get his nose up the inside. Now trying to cut from the top to the bottom. He does it. He gets the nose on the inside all the way to the door. He's got Johnson off the line. 43 car up the inside. Now gets the left front hooked on the berm. That's not going to let him clear. But he's got the momentum. He's got the spot down into 1 and 2. No drive out of the corner off the bottom, and Johnson goes right back by. You need that upper line in 1 and 2, I think, and right down against the inside here in 3 and 4. And if Andy Gross is paying attention to what's going on, he'll use that line eventually and try to work his way around both these guys. Good battle inside the top 3. Go on board and ride with Andy Gross as he watches this battle in front of him start to heat up while he plans his maneuvers to take the lead from both these guys. Rundle keeps trying to get the nose on the inside, and there's just too much momentum off the top side for Johnson. Big jump off the throttle right there, you heard. Look off the right side, you can see he is all over the rear bumper of Reed Rundle. Rundle trying to work around Johnson. Now getting pressure from behind, so being patient with making the move. Time for that may go away pretty quickly here. Johnson, while these two started the battle, Johnson pulled about 3 car lengths on them. We're just past halfway. This time at the line.
All right, man, caution is out.
And our first caution of the evening, Scott King, it looks like, has a problem. Watch the 118 back here. About 9th and 10th, gets a little bit of contact and then a little help. Kind of got into the berm and got into the side of Carlson and then got a little bit of help from J.J. Schilling. So, Scotty off the hook now. He promised a caution. He has delivered. Take a look at our top 10 real quick. Chris Johnson, Reed Rundle, Andy Gross, Brandon Hull, David Kinjerski, Blake Johnson, Nick Sobiak, Ryan Fisher, Caden Carlson, and Peter Brees. Then it's Schilling, Burnt, Matson, Trito, Enoch, Brunner, Tackman, Gagliano, King, and Butcher. About 10 to go when they get the green back. Don't forget, guys, right back at it. About, it'll be about 30 minutes from now, maybe a little less. These guys will get out of the street stocks and get into the limited late models right back here. Do it again. Dominic Santino will have the NARC guys about the same time on the Facebook page. And tomorrow night, Dominic will be back at Dirt Slingers. Monday Night Thunder, 360 Wing Sprint Cars. They are at Weedsport. Fixed setup portion of their series. 8 o'clock Eastern on Monday night. Full week of racing for you. All right, Pacer again about to get the restart. Watch that guy on the inside of row number 2. Nobody gets better restarts than he does. He's going to get right up there, push the 112 car. Reed Rundle got a good start on the outside of row number 1. Now 3 wide as Gross pushes the issue down on the inside. That opens it up, and Rundle, your new leader down the backstretch. Chris Johnson settles into second. Andy Gross hanging on the bottom right there, trying to get around him. He doesn't want Rundle to get too far away. Brandon Hull, the 99, trying to stay dead even. That time Gross got the left front up on the hill. He is going to lose some momentum, lose the spot to Brandon Hull. Brandon Hull to third, Gross back to fourth, Kinjerski still fifth. So now Johnson's got to work. Try to get the lead back from Rundle. Rundle just too good a start. Had the outside big advantage. As we are working lap 19 of 25. Laps ticking off. Johnson can't afford to lose any ground. He's got to stay in there. Got to figure out what he can do to get around the 43 car. Brandon Hull trying to hold off Andy Gross right now. Kinjerski goes to the bottom in 1 and 2, and he's alongside Gross. No room off the corner. Those two make a bit of contact, and that's going to leave the door open. Nose still on the inside for Kinjerski. But Gross slammed that door shut. Now brings the car really deep into 3 and 4. Keeping that nose there. Gross knows he's on the inside. He's got to give him a little bit of space. The momentum off the top side just too much. Andy Gross going to hang on to fourth. 4 to go this time by. Rundle got the lead on the restart. Johnson has not mounted any kind of a challenge yet. Now Rundle a little wide 1 and 2, and Johnson going to run down the hill. He's going to have the nose down to the inside. Can he do anything with it here? Going to bring it out towards the middle. That slick line probably not the best place to be. Just on the left rear corner that time by. 3 to go. Left front up on the berm. That probably does it for him right there. All the ground that he made up, he lost 10 times that this time. He moved up the hill and got in front of Hull. Hull checked up, and that allowed Gross to look to the inside for third. 2 to go that time by. Blake Johnson, big slider. Didn't take it all the way to the fence and left the top open for Kinjerski. Now Sobiak peaks 3 wide down to the backstretch into turn 3. This a battle. 5th, 6th, and 7th contact there. Around goes 41. He's going to keep it facing forward. Now he's going to spin around. Caution.
Caution is out.
Ryan Fisher. We'll go back and see. You see the 3 wide in front. Johnson just gets up, checks up to stay out of Kinjerski. Fisher gets in the back of him. Brees gets into him, and then it's kind of a pinball effect as he got into tree toe. Tackman gets hit by King. Just a big mess behind that. So a green, a white checker. Green, white, checker situation. Rundle, Johnson, Hull, Cross. Andy Gross, excuse me. David Kinjerski, Nick Sobiak, J.J. Schilling, Blake Johnson, Caden Carlson, and Dean Burnt, the top 10. All right, a side-by-side restart. You got the king of restarts on the outside of row 2, Reed Rundle, who got a great restart last time from the outside of the front row. He'll be on the inside of that front row this time. We'll see who has the lead coming out of 2. That will probably decide who wins unless we catch another quick caution.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag, and Rundle gets a good start. 43 car. Right through 1 and 2 on the bottom. Johnson not so good there. Here comes Gross up the middle. 3 wide with Hall on the bottom. Now down into turn 3 and 4, and Gross goes right to the inside. Rundle stays wide. Johnson stays wide. White flag in the air this time. Reed Rundle up top. Hanging on to the lead. Andy Gross now has cleared Chris Johnson, but Johnson's got a good run off the top down the backstretch. Just can't keep it there as those two trade just a little bit of white paint back and forth. That's going to open the door for Sobiak. Big shuffle at the end. Gross was there for a second. Rundle's going to win it. Gross second. Nick Sobiak up the inside down the backstretch, and he's going to come home third over Johnson. So good finish on the late race restart. We will get our drivers to bring the cars around here to the front stretch and park them for us. See if we can grab these guys real quick. Nick Sobiak, you there?
Yes, sir.
Man, a great run on the last restart. You thread the needle a little bit and end up with third. Talk to us about that restart and this podium finish.
Yeah, we had a good restart. Started 6th, got on the top side, and went up to 3rd. Had a bad beginning of the race, went from 6th to 12th, and worked my way back up. So it was pretty fun. It was a nice run with Chris right at the line.
Yeah, side by side, and that last restart, not on the podium, but a couple of cars to get around, and the guys started to spread themselves all over. Just Red Seas kind of parted for you there?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of car control you needed for this. A lot of side-by-side racing.
Well, fantastic run, man. We know you guys got to get ready to head over to the late model portion of the show, so who's on the car helping you out before we let you get out of here?
I want to thank Chris Johnson, VLR Chassis, Faster Motors, RLV, my mom, my dad, and my sister.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us, and good luck in the streets or in the late model, sir.
Thank you.
Nick Sobiak, he finishes in a 3rd. Talk to Mr. Gross. The king of the restarts, Andy Gross, are you there?
I got you, Roger.
Well, we talked about you being the guy on restarts, and you wasted no time. 3 wide out of 2 on the initial part of that restart. You end up second. Great battle there. Tell us about that last restart.
Yeah, that was super exciting. Going 3 wide. Typically, if you go to the local short track around here, you'll see me doing the same thing. I just knew I need to get the front, and with the points battle so tight with 4 to go in the 4 races to go in the season, I can't waste any time, being positions behind Reed with him leading. So we're gonna give it everything, take chances, and be aggressive.
Well, it pays off for you tonight. You run second. You got there, got up to the door. Just too much momentum off the top side for that 43 car.
Yeah, and I think Chris and I made a contact going down the backstretch, and I backed out of the gas a little bit. I was just hoping we weren't going to wreck. And, might have had something, but that bottom, trying to get that to work is awfully tricky. And, yeah, he just hit his mark and had a good run coming off the corner.
All right, man, who you got on the car this week before we let you get out of here and get ready for the late models?
Yeah, I want to thank Nate from Henco Water Jet Supply for all your water jet needs. I want to thank Paul Peterson at Shark RC Bodies for your drag racing and dirt oval bodies. Dave Kajerski at Ski Graphics, always doing these great looking wraps if you need any kind of graphic design work. Scrub-a-dub, I want to thank all the guys from James E. Bate Raceway that tune in and watch every weekend. My mother-in-law, my wife, my boy Parker, my dad. And Roger, thanks for the great broadcasts.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us. Congratulations on a great one. Look forward to seeing you in just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited for the late model race. See you in a little bit.
Your second place finisher, Andy Gross. We'll move on and talk to the man of the hour, Reed Rundle. Are you there?
Yes, sir, Roger. How are you?
I am good. You got the lead there on a restart, and you held off the king of the restarts on the final one, man. Tell us a little bit about your feature run tonight.
Well, obviously, longer green flag runs tonight made it a little bit more interesting. Chris and I had a great battle. I tried to get underneath him a couple times, and he did what he needed to and closed the door, so I wasn't able to quite get the run. And then you see Andy, sitting there in third, fourth, and he's always going to be stout at the end, and a lot of good racing tonight. So we were happy. I didn't want to see that late caution, but we were able to hold him off.
Well, a great run. You pick up the win, extend the points lead, which was already fairly good. I had that up a minute ago, and I apparently closed. I want to say it was 10, 12 points, but with about 3 races left in this series, no time to relax, I am sure.
No, not with how tight everybody is in this group, especially in the top guys in the points, all running as close as we are. Qualifying counts, heat races count, features obviously, and we do have the 2 drop weeks that'll go into effect for the last 2 weeks. So we'll see what happens when those shake out too, because that could also impact it.
All right, man. Well, a great run. Who's on the car helping you out before we let you head for the late model session?
Yeah, as always, Buddy's Racing Equipment, Premier Fabricating, NPF Flyer, Race Cars, Central Services, and shout out to Scrub-a-Dub for sponsoring us for this whole season. We're getting to start looking for sponsors for next season too. So we always want to make sure that they get the shout out.
All right, man. Well, thanks for chatting with us, and good luck down there in the late model, sir.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Your winner of the street stock session, Mr. Reed Rundle. Andy Gross was second. Nick Sobiak in third. Chris Johnson fourth. Brandon Hull was fifth. AJ Schilling sixth. David Konjerski comes home in seventh. Caden Carlson eighth. Jason Enoch ninth. Blake Johnson was 10th. Peter Bracy 11th. 12th to Dean Burnt. Kyle Trito in 13th. Jim Butcher 14th. RJ Tackman in 15th. Scott King 16th. 17th to Ryan Fisher. Dean Gagliano in the 18th spot. 19th to John Brunner and Jordan Matson, are rounded out the field. Great race for these guys here. Big track, a lot of speed, a lot of room to race, and they made use of every bit of it. If the street stocks are any indication of what the late models are going to be, we're in for a hell of a show here in just a little bit. That server should be coming up in the next few minutes, and we'll go live here in probably about 10. So we'll take a quick break. Don't forget, I'm coming back in about 10 minutes, and Dominic Santino will be back on the air again this evening, about probably 10 minutes after I go live with the NARC guys over on the Facebook page. If you're on YouTube and Twitch, subscribe. You'll know every time we go live. If you're on the Facebook page, just come by the Dirt Racing Network. Give us a like, a share, a follow. The same thing will happen. You'll know each time we click the live button. Appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. Thank you very much. Hope to see you back here just shortly. If we don't, until we see you the next time, keep it dirty, everybody. All right, welcome back, everybody. Dirt Racing Network's live coverage of the Hales Corners Sim Racing Series. Once again, from Knoxville, the lights are on over the raceway. Limited late models out on the track. 23 drivers checked in currently. Joining me after his stint in the street stocks in the booth tonight, up here for the Hales Corners guys, Zach Krieger. Zach, welcome in.
Hello, thanks for having me.
And, well, tell us how you got involved with the Hales Corners guys here.
Cool. So like you said, my name's Zach Krieger. I recently, a few months ago, started doing iRacing, and felt I've always liked iRacing, always liked racing and stuff. And I just decided to jump aboard. I knew some of the guys running the series. Been talking with Reed Rundle a lot. And yeah, I got in contact with him talking about the league and everything, and I was able to participate in the street stocks. Late models, not so much, but I'm happy to be able to be with you in the booth here, Roger.
Well, I appreciate you joining me. Hopefully, you can turn this into something long-lasting, whether it is here with us or somewhere else. More experience, guys, we get out there, the better it is for everyone. So, happy to have you. All right, quick look at our points. Andy Gross, the points leader by 14 points. He's sitting at 391. Reed Rundell at 377, 374. Jason Schilling, R.J. Tackman, and David Kinjerski in behind that. These guys, tonight's race and 3 more left in the season, so everything kind of starting to tighten up. And they are going to, like Andy said, they're going to give it everything and take some chances that maybe they normally wouldn't if they aren't in a position to easily gain points and try to snatch some of those. Get points for qualifying, to get points for winning heat races. Just about get points for everything out here, so it's easy to see these things shuffle around as they are winding out the practice session right now. They're going to get ready for a driver's meeting and a quick qualifying session, and as we always do prior to any sporting event in this great nation, we honor everyone with our national anthem and our invocation, and we will turn it over to public address for that right now.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
And now, please welcome Pastor Sam Foley from Port Orange, Florida, to deliver tonight's invocation.
Father, we ask today that you protect and bless those who participate in this race. May they use good sportsmanship and respect for each other. And we'll thank you and praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, thank you to the Foleys for both our invocation and our national anthem. Drivers out in qualifying right now. Nick Sobiek, 19.560 seconds. Andy Gross and Jared Apel, second and third. Ryan Fisher now 6.78 for his effort. Reed Rundell on track. He's up to second at a 6.78. Watching Reed on his second sign. Put the left sides up on the berm there in 3 and 4. I don't know if that's going to help his time or not. Looks like a 19.659. Not enough to bump Sobiek, but enough to set him solidly in second. 19.683 for Jordan Matson. So our 3 quick qualifiers. Scott King with a 7.15. Good effort for Scott in the 118 car. I would imagine they are going to let this session run all the way out, so we got about a minute and a half here. Any direct ties to anyone who raced at Hales Corners, or just in with the guys here for the Sim Series, Zach?
Currently, really only Pat Heaney. Pat's been a good longtime friend of my uncle and Scott Krieger, and then just through Roped Association, been helping out with Pat in his sportsman class car, or whatever he's running at this certain year. Unfortunately, never got to see Hales Corner Speedway. Little young for that. And I know it's just kind of sad that I didn't get to see it. You know, to what I've heard, it was a great place to be with all the drivers and guys. So, but other than that, don't really know anybody else. But
all right, well, qualifying winding down. Time for a quick commercial before we get ready to go to heat racing action. All right, drivers gridding out at the end of pit road are ready to get going here in heat race number 1. On the pole, the Renegade race cars, Renegade Racing number 67 from Hartford, Wisconsin, R.J. Tackman, and to his outside, the W1 machine of J.J. Schilling. Row 2 on the inside, the SKD King's Color and Chrome. Team SKD number 118 from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Scott King. And on his outside, the RLV Faster Motors VLR number 23 from Big Bend, Wisconsin, Nick Sobiek. In the third row on the inside, the Ski Graphics number 15 of David Kinjerski. And on his outside, the Kurzik LLC, Electric LLC, number 00 from Waukesha, Wisconsin, Blake Johnson. Fourth row on the inside, the 34 machine of Dean Gagliano, and I do not believe that Gary Budzing will be racing as he normally handles race control duty, so 7 cars. 5 goes straight to the feature. That means we're going to be sending 2 of these guys to the B main, and we'll take 5 out of that B main to fill in the 20-car 50-lap feature for you here tonight at Knoxville. And it should be a lot of fun. If this race is anything like the street stock race and we get to the feature, these guys will be side by side, sharing a little bit of paint, having a whole lot of fun, and they'll make it really exciting for us.
Hopefully, as they start to round turn 2, currently coming to the green this lap. Like Roger said, it's going to be R.J. Tackman leading it to the pack with J.J. Schillings next to him. Let's see what happens here.
Quick hello to Randy and Tim in the chat. Guys, don't be afraid to say hello in the chat. No matter where you're at, we can see you in the multi-chat. We are ready for the green flag out of turn 4. Flagman drops it over the field. Green flag, we are underway. Heat race number 1, limited late models. Hales Corner Speedway Sim Racing Series here from Knoxville. And R.J. Tackman into the lead down the backstretch. Right in front of J.J. Schilling, side by side behind that, Scott King, Nick Sobiak. King going to get the left front up on the berm. Going to be able to stay side by side for now, but it was Tackman, Schilling, Sobiak at the line.
You could see there, Scott King got into the side of Kosobiak. Little touch in there, they both kept it straight. It also seemed like the 15 of David Kurczynski, sorry, got involved there a little as he fell back a little bit. But looking up at the front, RJ Tackman still leading with JJ Schilling's right behind him. Schilling's almost had a look in the 2. See if Schilling's could get anything else out of it.
Yeah, just not enough momentum off the bottom. He had to relinquish the spot. Now Sobiak and King battling again, but King has third. Sobiak with that nose right up onto the back of the 118 car. Now moves to the inside in turn number 2. Does he have enough momentum? Had to pitch it sideways to stay out of King's car, and King finds the outside wall. I think he thought he had less room than he actually did. He's going to open the door for Kinjerski to move the 15 car down the inside and possibly take 4th away, as we are 4 into our 12-lap heat race, and Scott King with all kinds of trouble out of turn 2.
Yeah, it seems as if he kind of hit the berm coming out, and he got pushed up all the way up the track. Could let Blake Johnson get a chance at him. Gonna be a little interesting up at the front. Nothing really happening as all the cars have started to sort themselves out. Only seems as if currently it's gonna be Johnson and King going at it.
Yeah, right now Blake Johnson has that 5th and final transfer spot as Scott King, a little unfamiliar with these cars, and I know Scott, and he is learning a lot recently, and so he's putting himself into some of these other mods on the service and learning the late models, something that he is probably one of the least experienced at is this car right here. So getting out of shape and losing a little bit of momentum. He'll learn something from it. He won't do it when he gets into the B main, but he's running 6th right in front of Gagliano, who runs 7th. At the front, RJ Tackman has just taken the lead, and he is keeping it out in front of everybody. They're coming down to 4 to go. It's still Tackman, Schilling, Sobiak, Kinjerski, and Johnson for our top 5 spots.
Followed by Scott King and Dean Gagliano. It seems as if it's going to be Tackman all the way. It seems as if he's had the pace from pole. But who knows, maybe JJ Schilling could mount a comeback. Maybe, though, Nick Sobiak seems to be on the back of Schilling. Wonder what could happen there if Sobiak would make a move. Kind of got to wonder. Oh, there he, as you can see, Sobiak trying to go into 3, make it.
Got Schilling off the line right there, which is what he needed to do, and it's going to open the door now. Sobiak, if he can keep it out of the berm long enough, and he got it out of shape and let Schilling use the crossover, so they're going to be side by side battling for second when they get to the white flag. RJ Tackman, if he had a mirror, he'd be happy to see that behind him. It takes some pressure off. Now he can just be smooth and finish up this heat race as Sobiak, little bonsai into 1 and 2, put it up on the berm. That's not going to work. Schilling just going to keep it nice and smooth on the bottom. Last chance into 3 and 4 once again up on the berm. Yeah, that's not going to work. Never going to happen. Tackman wins it. Schilling will come home second. Sobiak, Kinjerski, and Johnson will take the top 5 transfer spots. We'll see King and Gagliano in our B main. So 1 in the books, 2 to go. Interesting start as we saw a little bit of helter-skelter there towards the end of heat race number 1. All right.
And I think that...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that's what we're going to see a lot in this series, in this race, is later in the race, drivers are going to become a little more wanting of positions, and maybe those main feature spots, quick transfer spots, a lot of guys are going to go for it, and I think that's what we saw with Sobiak and... yeah.
All right, Heat 2, gridding out, rolling out onto the speedway on the pole. The Scrub It Up Car Wars Black Flag Racing number 8 from Waterford, Wisconsin, Peter Breeson on his outside. The Zeller Transportation Apel Racing number 51 from Hartford, Wisconsin, Jared Apel. Second row on the inside, the Pincala Auto Solutions number 41 out of Oak Creek, Wisconsin. It's Ryan Fisher, and to his outside, the Buddies Racing Equipment TDC Racing from Oxford, Michigan, the 43 of Reed Rundle. Third row inside, the 33 machine of Kyle Trito. That's the Matco-sponsored machine. And on his outside, in the 99 car, that's Brandon Hull. On the back row, on the inside, the Burnside Motorsports number 55 from Franklin, Wisconsin, John Burnside, and scheduled to be on the outside in the Sorens Ford number 11 from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, Ricky Johnson. I do not see Ricky on track. So 7 cars once again. 5 to our feature. We'll put the other 2 in the B main and let them battle it out for one of the 5 remaining spots.
As they're going to start to round turn 3 as they all sort of get together, tight, compact, ready for the green flag. Ace truck jumps into the pits. They're going to be going ready to the green. Green flag is out. And it seems as if Breeze takes the lead early.
Yeah, Peter Breeze perfect onto the start. He's got about 2.5 car lengths out of turn 2. The 51, Jared Apel, new paint on that car. Not used to seeing him in that black and yellow. Like the way that looks. He's going to settle into second, and here comes Ryan Fisher, the 41 machine. Up to third, taking a peek on the inside at the end of lap 1. Going to try to take second away from Apel if he can. Apel out of shape. Grabs the car back up underneath him. It looked like Rundle had enough time to react. He keeps the 43 machine out of the fray, and he's going to take a shot on the inside of 3 and 4 to try to get third away from Apel. Keep the 51 car moving back through the field.
I would say watch Reed Rundle, but he was fast in street stocks, and he's definitely going to be fast in these late models, holding it on that low line, really close to the berm. Could be a little risky in case you accidentally hit it, mount it, but I think with the experience that Rundle has, of course, being this high up in the series points-wise, I think he's definitely got it under control. So we come to lap 4 now. Breeze, Fisher, Rundle, Apel, Hull,
Trito,
and Burnside, your order.
And John Burnside has fallen quite a ways back, about 2.5 seconds off of Trito there in 6th. And Kyle Trito putting a little bit of pressure on Brandon Hull. The 99 had the nose to the outside for a split second there in 3 and 4. Just not able to get the drive and finish the momentum run to pull alongside. I think if he can get the car there and he can keep the momentum, keep that 99 pin down on the bottom, he might be able to use that momentum and clear him and take away that 5th and final spot. Now we got a battle starting to heat up for second as Rundle moving to the high side, not able to do it out of 2 on Fisher. Fisher's got his sights set on that gray and green number 8 of Peter Brees. Brees going to get to the halfway point first. Go ahead, Zach.
I think coming out of 2 last lap, Rundle sort of let off. I think he's waiting for Fisher to try to go on Breeze. Maybe he was able to slip through a little in their fight. I know that's a very smart strategy. As you can see, here comes Fisher. Does he have the run off the corner? Doesn't look like it. It looks like it's going to be Breeze who leads on to lap 8 now. As here goes Fisher. Little side-by-side action, but I don't think anything is going to happen quite just yet.
Top 3 under a blanket as Rundle puts the nose on the inside. Close quarters racing. That forced Fisher to stay on the throttle a little, and he drove it right alongside Peter Brees right there. Now he's going to really force the issue in 1 and 2. Saw how well it worked down in 3 and 4, but Brees on the high side got enough momentum. He's going to keep the lead into 3. Coming down to 3 laps to go. That time not nearly the same amount of momentum going in the corner for Fisher. He's going to really have to get aggressive here if he's going to get around Brees. And I just don't think he's going to do it without making contact. And Ryan will be very, very careful. This time into 3, he may have a big advantage. Drives deep into the corner, checks the car down. But Brees able to counter. That's going to bring Rundle right back on the inside. 2 to go that time, and Reed Rundle moves to the inside of Ryan Fisher, and he's going to take second as they're going to head down the backstretch with about a lap and a half to go.
And Fisher definitely doesn't want to lose that second place spot that he's been running in basically all race. Rundle, he might have a good chance here to get past Breeze, and what a way it would be. White flag, what a way for Rundle to win it if he could get it on the final lap, come down the back stretch. Doesn't look like he might have a run down the back, but he's gonna try it into the final corner. 3 through 4, he hit the berm in 3 Rundle. Doesn't look like it's gonna be. It's gonna be Peter Breeze who wins Heat 2.
Rundell second, Fisher third, Apel and Hull will go into the feature. We'll see Trito and Burnside in our B main. Good finish to that one as everybody gathered right back up at the end as we get prepared to run down the lineup for heat race number 3. It's going to be the Shark RC Car Bodies number 112 from Menominee Falls, Wisconsin, of Chris Johnson on our pole. And on the outside of him, the MKE Laser Design number 29 of Caden Carlson. Row 2 on the inside, the Shark RC Bodies, Henco Water Jet Supply, Ski Graphics number 14 from Hartford, Wisconsin, Andy Gross. And on his outside, the Buffalo Wild Wings number 18, Jordan Matson. Row 3 on the inside, the 66 of Jason Enoch. And on his outside, the Buddies Racing Equipment I-41 Raceway number 17 from Slinger, Wisconsin, Dean Burnt. And the back row by himself, the newcomer to the series, the 117 of Jim Butcher.
It's going to be interesting to see what will happen in this. A lot of fast guys in this heat. Definitely going to be one to watch.
The familiar black and blue of Chris Johnson on the late model. He was in a different paint scheme for his street stock. And he's back in his familiar. Very good in the street stock earlier. Ended up having a difficult time at the end of that feature. And I think he came home about 4th or 5th. But he led most of the way. He won his heat race, as I recall, in the street stock race. And he's going to start on the pole for a late model run here. And we'll see if he can keep that momentum going forward.
It'll be interesting to see. This track definitely is a challenging one in the late model. It's going to be interesting to see how many of them can keep it clean, keep it fast, as they're going to be coming through turn 3 now, coming to the green flag. They get ready, they line up. Base truck pulls in as they come out of 4. Green flag is out. It seems as if it's almost an early green flag. So they're going to be going into turn 1, and it does look as if Vincent didn't get a good jump, and Carlson pulls out into the lead.
Yeah, Caden Carlson perfect on the start. Chris Johnson a little asleep behind the wheel there for the pole sitter. Definitely not an advantage like it should be. And Matson's trying to work to the high side. Andy Gross right there saying, guys, sort it out. Everybody's all over the place, and I really need to get going here. Otherwise, Carlson's going to get a pretty good gap on us, and I'd like to go up there and challenge for this heat race win. He moves around Matson into 3rd. Now Enoch sitting in that 5th and final direct transfer spot. Dean Burnt and Jim Butcher, as we've completed 2 of our 12 scheduled heat race laps.
Carlson leads it out of 2 on lap 3. Only battle, really, that looks like it. Enoch and Burnt in fighting for 5th and 6th place as it is. They start to keep clean. But anyways, gotta really watch out for Andy Gross. You can see that he has the pace, and he is just waiting for that one opportunity to be able to jump on Chris Johnson and start his charge for the first spot, number 29, Caden Carlson.
A big contact between Enoch and Burnt, and you saw Enoch go all the way to the back, went from 5th to 7th as Burnt and Fisher got around. So we'll go back to the front. Still Caden Carlson coming to the end of lap number 5. Chris Johnson still second. Andy Gross right on top of Johnson when they went into 3. Lost a lot of space. Johnson got a good run through the middle of the corner, and he closed on Carlson and gave himself some room on Gross that time. Andy Gross really good in 1 and 2. Lost some distance in 3 and 4. We'll see if that happens again down here this end of the track. As Chris Johnson starting to reel in the 29 car. Andy Gross made a good run. He moved up a lane and now trying to put the nose on the inside and make Johnson give up the spot. And I think he got him off the line. He's going to get him out of shape. Big run down the backstretch. Here comes Andy Gross as he works to the inside. No contact between the two yet. Very close in 3 and 4 right there. Almost touched, but no clear advantages. They're going to come out of 2 with just under 5 laps to go.
They come down the back stretch here to see if Gross has anything for Johnson out of 3 and 4. Seems as if Gross has been a little unstable through this part of the track. gonna be something to watch as they come out like it is. Chris Johnson clears Gross, able to bring it back up as the 8 Cena Jordan Matson gets up on the berm. It's gonna lose him some time. Carlson though at the front, he's got to feel a little sweat here. Chris Johnson pulling up pretty close to him, as well as Andy Gross.
I don't think Johnson's got a choice but to go, because Gross putting all kinds of pressure onto that 112 car as he's got the nose back to the inside. So Johnson's having to go hard on the top side. There's contact between Gross and Johnson. We'll see how that works out. Gross by half a car that time into second, 2 to go that time by. Now Gross with a full car out in front. He moves into second clean lead. Chris Johnson back to third. Then it's Matson and Burnt, your top 5. We're going to watch the battle at the front. If it becomes a battle, right now Carlson enjoying about 0.4 of a second, but that is closing quickly now as Andy Gross got around Chris Johnson, and he has got it under a car and a half. Down the backstretch for the final time, Kincaid and Carlson hang on and win heat race number 3. Or will Andy Gross find a way to steal another victory here? Not this time. Carlson hangs on. He wins heat 3. He takes Gross, Johnson, Matson, and Burnt to the feature with him. Butcher and Enoch will be in the B main.
I think Andy Gross left a little too late there on his challenge, trying to get to the front. And unfortunately for him, he's probably going to be kicking himself. Probably think that he maybe should have gone on Johnson a little earlier.
All right, B main, 5 cars out of what is scheduled to be 8. I think is only going to be 6. It's going to be Gagliano and Butcher in row 1, Trito and King in row 2, Burnside and Enoch in row 3, and then it's scheduled to be Budzine and Johnson. I don't think either one of those cars is going to make the call here. These guys pace around, get ready for our 6-car B main. Let us show you a little bit of our sponsors and pay some bills. Alrighty. We're ready to go B main racing. 6 cars, 5 are going to remain at the end of it. 1 driver will be left out. So these guys will get ready for 50 laps of green flag racing in our feature tonight. They have got to get, they got to get through 15 laps of B main racing first. So.
This 15 is going to be very crucial to everybody's race, everybody's year, every season. You really need to make these last few features if any of these guys want to challenge at a high spot. It's going to be interesting to see what some of these guys can do. Some of these guys look very fast in the heats. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do in the B main.
Pace truck, as you see Burnside hanging back off of these guys. He didn't want to get in anything if something happens down in turn 1 as the green flag comes out. B main is underway. Good side by side. Oh, a little contact. Looks like maybe Enoch and King got together going through 1 and 2, but they're going to straighten them up. Keep them facing forward. We're in 3 and 4 now with your leaders in Butcher. Out to the front around the top side on Gagliano. Kyle Trito in behind as the top 3 are nose to tail. Here comes Scott King in the 118 right in front of Jason Enoch. Everybody out in front of John Burnside right now.
It does seem as if Burnside potentially could be the one taken down, but Butcher here up at the front. With a decent-ish lead. Looking very comfortable with that 34 car. Could potentially try to throw his nose in at some point.
Gagliano trying to run the middle, now gets up alongside as a big bobble from the 117 of Butcher. He's going to have a chance here with a slide job. Will he take it all the way across? Nope. Keeps it on the bottom. Going to allow the top side to have its momentum. He gets sideways out of two. That's going to let Trito get to the top. Now can Trito bring the 33 car around the outside and use the momentum to take second away? Not that time. Here comes Scott King in fourth. He may be looking for a mistake out of these guys. He can zip by all of them, and that might have been it right there with the contact between Gagliano and Trito as King sticks his nose in the battle in turn 3.
King makes it 3 wide as he hits the berm. Seems as if Trito also sort of got messed down out of 3. King still trying, using that bottom line. It looks like Gagliano and Trito, though, gonna come back, try to push him off, say, no, these 3 spots are ours. Who knows?
All right, working lap number 7, getting closer and closer to halfway. Butcher, Gagliano battling. That battle kind of over now. Gagliano working on Trito here. He's got second. Trito and King going side by side. Almost 3 wide out of turn 4. In fact, they do come out 3 wide. King was on the bottom. He lost a lot of momentum. Now let Trito and Gagliano side by side. Now Kyle Trito moves into second on the inside of 1 and 2, opening up the door for Scott King to maybe work the bottom and get into third. He does that. It might be Trito and King going at it once again. Jason Enoch sitting in 5th right back here. That's your top 5 as we are working lap number 9.
And I would say watch out for that 66 of Jason Enoch. He is in prime position. If somebody messes up, he's going to just quickly snatch that spot. As you can see, going low here on Dean Gagliano. Tough break for Dean. Was running fairly high up, running second for most of the race. And it seems as if the fighting with Trito and King just started to push him back a little bit as he falls back to 5th place. But at the front, Jim Butcher cleared out. Seems as if he is going to keep a large lead as everybody seemed to even out in single file. Be interesting to see if anybody else can try to mount a comeback. But with 4 laps to go at the line, doesn't seem like there will be any more challenges.
I don't know. Burnside is closing in on Gagliano here a little bit. Got it down to 0.6 of a second. That's for the final transfer spot. 55 car needs to get around that 34 machine if he wants to be in the A main tonight. And he got it down. It was almost 0.7 the last time. The past time by, it was down to just under half a second. He keeps closing the gap. A couple of laps to go. We may get a challenge for the 5th and final transfer spot. But up front, everybody single file. Butcher's leading it. Trito in second. King in third. Enoch running fourth. And then that battle. Oh, there's the mistake for Gagliano. 34 car caught the berm and got up on it. He allowed Burnside to get by, and that's probably going to seal the deal. You're going to see Butcher, Trito, King, Enoch, and Burnside probably going to our A main. We're going to stay on the front with a lap and a half to go as Trito, starting to close the gap. He may put some pressure on under the white flag here.
He might come into the white flag. I feel as if though this is sort of the same situation that Andy Gross was in Heat 3. I think Trito got back up the Butcher just a little lap too late as they come down the back stretch here, coming to 3. Through 3 here and through 4. It doesn't seem as if there will be a challenge from Trito. Jim Butcher, your B main winner, followed by Kyle Trito, Scott King, Jason Enoch, Don Burnside, your 5 that will move on to the feature, those transfers. Ian Gagliano, half that mistake, just cannot catch back up and will not make the feature.
All right, real quickly, going to pay another set of bills here before we get ready for our feature race. All right, drivers lining up. the end of pit road, ready for our feature. On your pole for the 50-lap feature tonight, going to be the 15 of David Kinjerski, Chris Johnson on the outside. Row 2, Orion Fisher inside, Nick Sobiek outside. Andy Gross inside row 3 with Reed Rundle on the outside. Heck of a row to watch right there, those two orange cars. As we get into this one, J.J. Schilling and Caden Carlson in row 4. Row 5, Peter Brees and R.J. Tackman. Jared Apel, Jordan Matson, row 6. Row 7, Blake Johnson and Brandon Hall. Dean Burnt and Jim Butcher in row 8. Row 9, Kyle Trito and Scott King in the back row. Jason Enoch and John Burnside. So 50 on the board. A long way to go. A lot going on in it. Remember, that 14 car is your points leader right now by 14 over the 43 car on the outside. And those two in the same row. Then J.J. Schilling, who is starting in the row behind them. 7 more markers back from that. So with a few weeks to go, everything's still up into the air for these guys as far as points go, because anything can happen.
We do have a sort of almost breaking story. Nick Sobiek was sent to the back of the grid. There's a little gentleman's agreement going on by the drivers. Some money has been put down. Nick Sobiek sent to the back. If he wins, he wins some money apparently.
Back row challenge. That is called the back row challenge, and I can't believe Sobiek's going to take that in this field, but green flag in the air, 50 laps for the Hales Corners Sim Racing League. Limited late model series underway here from Knoxville. Chris Johnson around the top side of 1 and 2 on Kinjerski. Here comes Rundle. Looks like Gross bottled up on the inside behind Ryan Fisher. Lap 1 going to go to Chris Johnson. Kinjerski second. Rundle was third. Good scramble in behind that. They're 2 wide, 3, 4, 5 deep. You see cars shuffling around the outside. Andy Gross trying to work the 14 machine into the top line. Needs to go forward. Can't afford to let Rundell get too far out in front of him. Oh, big contact. Fisher and Tackman now into Matson. Everybody's going to grab them up, keep them straight. Wow, what a turn of events right there for some of our front runners.
And they are still having trouble. They were still having trouble coming out of 2. Seems as if, though, at the front, going to be Chris Johnson, sorry. At the front, Reed Rundle, though, not holding off. He's going to try to go for it. If David Kinjerski. Wonder what he can do up from that 3rd place. Andy Gross, Caden Carlson, your top 5.
Yeah, I got the word from Race Control that a $20 bounty basically for the back row challenge to Mr. Sobiek. We'll see if he can come up here and win this thing. Interesting that more guys did not take that on, but I understand the guys in the points doing what they do. Staying at the front, racing for the championship. Johnson, Rundell, Kinjerski, Andy Gross got himself out of that traffic, got himself up to 4th now. Long ways to go and a long time to make up all that as he goes deep into 3 and 4 with the slider line. He's right in front of Carlson. Carlson in front of Schilling. Then Brees, Fisher, Hull, and Matson, your top 10. 7. 6 down, working on lap number 7. The top 3 on your screen right now, and they are about as equally spaced as you can get.
And that's really going to make Chris Johnson feel good. He is probably going to feel a little safe, especially with a car length, but Rundle tries to put it in there. He can't exactly get it. He might have a run here off of 2, as it seems like he does. Going to even up with him into the corner. It almost seems as if Johnson backed off a little. Rundle sent it in a little too difficult. He's going to fade back up the track. But to the lead on lap 8, Reed Rundle leads it, coming to lap 9.
Yeah, Rundle with a good move, drove it deep into 3 and 4. Ended up picking up the front spot there now. About a car and a half gap between himself and Chris Johnson. David Kinjerski now trying to work the bottom, see if he can do what Rundle did and get around Johnson, but that's just allowing Gross to get there. Everybody getting, way out of shape. Kinjerski, Johnson, contact on the front stretch. That's going to open the door And guess who steps right on through? That guy in a 14 car, Andy Gross. Now he's running second in front of Johnson. Konjerski is fourth, and Caden Carlson hanging on to fifth.
Johnson is going to try to run up here as he's going to try to go for it. It doesn't seem as if he's got much, but he goes for it right now. Down the backstretch, he will get it as Gross, though, still takes second. Seems as if Konjerski is going to try to challenge Johnson here. It'd be a little interesting to see what becomes of this. Of course, these two guys very, very good as it. Oh, Caden Carlson and JJ Schilling also trying to get involved. Be interesting to see what these two can do as Schilling and Carlson start to rumble a little here for 6th position. And it seems as if Konjerski and Johnson are also going to go for it for a little tumble. You got to wonder if that 8 car of Peter Bree is he holding back, or is he ready to pounce at a moment's notice?
Probably just trying to make up some ground. There was contact there between Carlson and Johnson. That is going to bottle things up a little bit behind the 112 car. Schilling now goes to the inside slide job. Almost contact again. Chris Johnson getting that 112 car way out of shape on the exit of these corners. And that is causing the guys behind him to either make contact or have to bottle the car down pretty hard. You see he and Carlson side by side one more time. That is 5th and 6th. It's Reed Rundle, 1 second out in front of Andy Gross, who is about 1.6 seconds ahead. Uh-oh, we have do we have contact? Uh-oh, Peter Brees. The 8 car.
Chris Johnson is upside down.
No. He and Carlson were battling, and once again, and then Brees got in there, and he gets flipped over by Matson, tumbling down the backstretch. And the old turtle shell for the 112 car is able to get that into the infield, slow the pace a little. This is probably something that the 43 car is not interested in seeing. He'd rather have seen that go green. Because you bring the 14 car up next to somebody on a restart, that somebody's got a whole lot of work to do if they're going to keep the lead. 17 laps in. Rundle, Gross, Konjerski, Schilling, Carlson, Fisher, Butcher, Tackman, Hall, and Sobiak. Nick Sobiak from 20th to 10th. Now, I know that the 15 car put up the back row challenge cash. I was told that a little while ago. But in 17 laps, the 23 car went from 20th to 10th. So a third of the way through the race, and he's picked off half the field. Maybe not as silly an idea as I thought it was.
Nick Sobiak hoping that he can get a good restart. He's looking for some easy
Is it
cash.
Sobiak's birthday? Is that what I'm seeing in chat? Sobiak's birthday today, wants to pick up that cash? Huh. Well, you know what normally happens to the birthday boy on his birthday? They normally get spanked, but in this situation, we'll see what happens here. Relative term to drivers, I will tell you that. Field formed up 2 by 2. Ready to go green out of turn 4. Once again, lights off on the pace truck. He'll make a hard left down here in turn 4. We'll see who has the best restart, the 43 or the 14.
Green.
Green flag. Oh, and I think the 14 car is going to get a little bit better restart. We'll see what Rundle can do in 1 and 2. Caution once again. Dean burnt the 17 car sideways. What happened to Dean? This was a restart. Oh, check up in front of him, the 51 of Apel, then Enoch, and then he gets turned around from behind. Not really a whole lot anybody could do in that situation.
Nah, and that's a tough situation to be in too, because you do not want to do that, especially with this many laps left going around. Luckily, not much damage it seems like, as actually it seems as if this big thing coming out that they're talking about in the race chat was Reed Rundle jumped start a little almost. I don't want to say anything that could make me look a little bad, but it does seem as if he Had a little jump. Yeah.
They're supposed to go on the green. And I
Seems
noticed
like
that he went and he kind of checked up a little bit. So.
Yeah, and he was saying he could position back to the 14 at least on the start. So. Little interesting
14
to
has the
see.
lead.
Yeah. That's gonna be interesting in the watch. But it's gonna kinda gotta I don't wanna be. That was sort of a I don't even know how to say it. That was a bad move by the 43 because you just gave the restart master the 14 the lead.
Well, we will see what they do. Is there a 2x2 here?
Actually, I think they delayed the caution because the whole pack wasn't caught back up. That seems they're going to keep going around. That's an iRacing thing I've noticed from my races is sometimes if you have a caution thrown, come to the green and they throw another, could really mess up the pack. It was as if race control up there decided to delay the start so the rest of the pack could get caught back up, which will make some of the guys at the back happy. Maybe some of the guys at the front a little antsy because I bet the people at the front would have just wanted to go when there were only 6 cars up there.
Well, Pace Truck is headed in. We'll watch the start again.
See what they can do off of 4.
Green, green, green.
There's that green flag. Slow start from almost everybody, but it seems as if Gross just got that little jump.
He had about a car length anyways. Rundle on that outside was not getting up there too close to him. Gave him a big advantage on the start. Now you got the 14 out in front. It's going to be hard to get around that car. Reed Rundle will do everything he can. David Konjerski in the third right now.
They come through here. Konjerski potentially could line a move up Rundle if Reed just makes one little itsy bitsy mistake, but Konjerski runs it a little high up, a little farther back. Hayden Carlson's going to be making a move on the 67, is that? I think so. Yep, on the 67. Back here at the front, though, Rundle still pushing as Rundle's gonna dive it into 3 through 4. He didn't get that sled job done. It looks like he did. It seems as if Rundle gets. Caution is thrown.
Did they get to the line? Because if they didn't get to the line, then Rundle will have to give that spot back.
Do not think they did.
So Jason Enoch?
I'm seeing Jim Butcher.
Okay, Jim Butcher. Oh, Butcher was way out of shape right there, yeah. Let's go a little bit further back here. He was side by side with Sobiek. Sobiek was up to 8th. Now Matson to the outside. Here comes Apel up to the outside in 3 and 4. Slides across the nose and gets hooked a little bit. And then got turned around after he made contact with the 99 of Brendan Hall. So
tough break there. You got to feel for the people that were involved in that, who weren't even near them. Some of the guys were getting caught in the crossfire. It's a terrible situation to be stuck in. Unfortunately, that's how I lost my B main in the street stocks. I was running near the back end. Just got caught up in an incident that I had nothing to do with and killed my run.
All right, so then you get back to 2x2. Only 2 cars eliminated thus far. Jason Enoch, Chris Johnson in the infield. So 18 cars still on the track. Rundle, Gross, row 1. Konjerski, Schilling, row 2. Fisher and Carlson in row 3. A look at the restart. We'll watch the 43 and the 14.
Base truck pulls in off of 4. We are waiting. Green flag is back out. And I think Gross got the jump on Rundle. See if he can keep that on that outside. See if he can get it going, as it seems as if Rundle Move it in a little deep, try to gain that spot. He sort of had it, but Gross comes right back through. And it almost seems as if Schilling is going to start to challenge Rundle on that outside line. Wonder if that outside line is going to start to become the preferred one.
Well, Rundell got the lead back off of the inside on Gross. But if he doesn't get up there where he can maintain and get a run at him, he'll have to deal with Schilling. And now he moves the car up the hill. Slides into second, sit back, be a little bit patient. 20 laps to go this time by, so a long ways. He'll mount another challenge and go at the 14 cars shortly. Still Gross, Rundle, Schilling, Fisher, Carlson, your top 5. Then Konjerski, Sobiak up to 7th. Matson, Apel, and Hull in the top 10. We're watching our top 3 right now. And these 3, we have seen in many weeks, these 3 going at each other. Side by side by side, nose to tail. Put Ryan Fisher in that mix in the 41 car, and the usual suspects at the front after the halfway point of just about any feature around here. Caution. Who is that? Burnside?
Back.
55 car of Burnside. I see him sideways.
Yeah. Being burnt. Jason Burnside, and it also looked as if, I want to say, Jim Butcher again got into it.
RJ Tackman, a little piece of it. Butcher was kind of in it. So, yeah, Dean Burnt sideways once again. He'll bring the 17 car into the back of the field. Getting a little messy in the middle part of the race here.
Yeah, it seems as if that 17 car just got loose on entry, and unfortunately got into the back of the 55 of, that's Burnside, unfortunately. Goes around and just stacking effect of people not being able to see it right away, and it's going to cause about 3, 4, 5 car pileup, and caution, which is most important.
It's hard to get these big, heavy cars slowed down. They don't have the greatest of brakes. Plus, you're sliding around on top of the mud, so a little piling in is going to happen. We hope guys are looking further forward than just the nose of their own car, but sometimes it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're going to get in something.
It's the old saying, cautions breed cautions. It seems as if we've had only about one real long green flag run, and then it's been small little bursts, and that's a big thing when the pack does start to build up, is that will cause a lot of guys to try to make some moves. Update here on the bounty. Nick Kosobiak up to 6th place.
Yeah, Sobiak coming forward. 15 to go, so lap's starting to get a little short to see if he can get the challenge money. But now let's see if Rundle learned anything from his last stint on the outside of the front row on a restart. See if he can keep that 43 car a little more even. They get ready to start. Maybe he can get the lead back here out of turn 2. The late stages of this one. Green flag in the air, dead even, and a good start for both cars. Rundle through on the high side. Is Gross going to slam the door? He certainly does. Moves that car right up the hill. And caution again. Tackman is in this, and so is Butcher. You can see they were stacking things up a little bit down here right at the start. They went off into 1 and 2, and Tackman got into the back of Brees, right across in the front of Butcher, and across in the front of Burnside. And the 67 car will end up short on this deal. Late race restarts, not what you want to see. Rundle maybe learned something that time too. He had the car in a good position, but he is going to really have to work hard to make sure that he covers any move that the 14 could possibly make and counter it on the restart, because I think that's where this thing's going to be won. Unless you can force a mistake when you get down to turn 3 on the first lap. Looks like Gross is going to drive it in deep, slide it up across your nose. And as soon as that happens, you're probably going to be locked in position. So we'll see what happens on the restart. Going to have about 10 to go when we get to green this time.
Kind of have to wonder if Andy Gross is praising these cautions or if he's cursing them. Definitely interesting. It's a strategy to win under caution, but it'd be interesting to see as he'll go for another lap, I think. I was I thought the pace truck was going to pull away. I was incorrect.
Lights went off at that time, so that means he will be pulling away down here. We'll have 11 laps to go.
11. Like said, to go, it's going to be Gross, Rundle, Fisher, Schilling, Carlson, and Kosobiak, your top 6. Konjerski, Matson. Row 4 with Hull and Bull up in the top 10. See if any of these guys have a challenge for Andy Gross near the front. Or there could be another caution. We will find out. Just now, pace truck off 4. So they're going to
Green, green,
go to
green.
the front. Green flag is out. Gross again. Just a small advantage. See what they can do onto the back stretch. Rundle. Oh, Rundle might have a little run here at Gross.
Good run that time getting into 3, but I don't think he's going to be able to do much. He couldn't get out in front and get across the nose. He's going to have to do it down in 1 and 2. If he's going to get there, he's got to do it right here, and he couldn't get it covered. Gross just keeps his foot in the throttle, and he's going to keep the 14 car out in front. Rundle still second, Schilling third, Sobiak up to 4th. So here comes the 23 car. 9 to go this time by. Does he have enough time to go get the $20 challenge money? He has got to get around 3 more drivers, and none of them are easy to pass.
Definitely, it's going to be interesting to see if he can do it. Back up here, though, at the front, it seems as if Gross had have this. Rundle, he's looking a little happy, though. He's looking a little excited off every single corner. Rundle seems to have a run as it almost looks like Schilling is going to try to go low on Rundle. Doesn't have a good run out of the corner. He gets a little loose off of 2. Going to be pushed back, and that might give Kosobiak an opportunity to bring it back, trying to get to that 3rd spot. But, oh, as they're going to crash behind.
All right, man.
David
Caution is out.
Konjerski.
Caution is out.
15 car of David Konjerski, and I saw him go flying across the track.
Yeah. Let's see.
Down in, catches the berm across. Oh, he got the car going, and he didn't keep it sliding. It kind of hooked in the center and straightened out on him. And the 51 car of Apel kind of into the back of him there. I think he was thinking about crossing under. And when he went to cross under, the 15 car of Konjerski straightened out a little bit. Not much he could do, and he swatted him into the fence real quick.
It's a tough break for David Konjerski. He was running high up. Those were good points for him. Unfortunately, the decision was it was not meant to be for him. The front, though, Gross, it seems, though, that he's going to be leading it off again. See if he will have anything on the restart, or will Reed Rundle be able to pull alongside, see if Reed gets another, tries to get a better restart, as I was thinking about.
Yeah, going to be up to Rundle to get a good restart here. Keep that 43 car right down on the 14. Not let him slide across. If he can keep the outside and keep the momentum, I think he's got a shot. But if Andy Gross is able to drive that car in there and clear the 43, he'll be able to slide right up and pretty much put this thing on ice right there. About 4 laps to go.
I'll say, though, watch out for Schilling down under in 3rd.
Sobiak
Could try.
up to 4th,
Definitely
and he's got a shot on the outside here, especially if the 2 in front of him get into each other.
Green, green, green.
Green flag is out.
Green flag is out, and once again, I think Rundle tried to time it, and he might have missed it. That may do it. He's going to have a run out of 2. Is he going to be able to do anything down here in 3 and 4? I seriously doubt. He's not going to get the drive across.
Ooh, but Gross.
Maybe this time, Reed Rundle out of turn number 4 had the advantage. New leader at the line with 3 to go. Reed Rundle on the bottom, making that 43 car move. Now up to the top. Oh, contact. Gross got in the back of on the right rear corner.
Caution is out.
That may do something right there, as I think Rundle may be back in front on this one. Peter Brees looks like he got sideways. down here in turn 2. Close to Tackman. Got a little help from Butcher from behind. Gets turned around. Couple cars still coming. So that's
coming to the green this time. You really gotta be ready. All of these guys have to be ready to pounce. This is the only green-white checkered they'll have. So you gotta watch the guys like Rundle, Schilling, Kosobiak could try something. Ryan Fisher, he's been fast here all night running in that 5th spot. It'll be interesting to see who can pull up. Because you can, especially for Gross, you can lead all 49 laps, but the 50th one is going to be the one that matters.
Restarts have been the order of the day, and the two guys on the front have been duking it out for the last couple. Great battle to watch. It's been fun. But one more time. This time the lights will go off on the pace track. They'll have 2 laps to get it decided.
I gotta say, much as I hope for it, I think Andy Gross might have this in the bag on this restart. If he can just bag a good restart pull in front of Reed Rundle, I don't think there'll be a challenge. But I definitely say watch Schilling down on that 3rd place or Kosobiak up in the 4th from 20th on the grid.
Needs a little bit of help here if he's going to pick up the win, but the 2 in front have been going at it pretty hard, and they may end up a little bit of a mess, and that may open the door for that 23 car. Right now, green-white checker restart. Gross and Rundle.
Green, green, green.
Green flag. Dead even on the start that time. Now what does Rundle have for Gross this time down the backstretch? He went to go high, and Gross closed the door. Here comes Sobiak. Can Sobiak do something in the final 4 corners? Not this time. Gross is going to lead him to the white flag. Rundle second. Sobiak in 3rd. I think with the battle in behind, here comes Matson to the top side. Does he have something for the 3rd place car of Sobiak? Rundle, last-ditch effort. Is going to keep it out of. He kept it off of him. Gross is going to win it. Rundle second, and at the line, Sobiak takes 3rd.
Woo! What a finish.
So good recovery there for Nick Sobiak, as he is going to put the 23 machine on the podium. Took the back row challenge. Almost got it to pay off. He made it all the way to 3rd. But those 2 guys up front just a little bit too strong. As we will see Andy and Reed, and I'm not sure what Andy's doing with his car, but we'll leave him right there. And we'll go in here and we will get these guys up into the channel. Where is Nick and Andy? All right. Nick Sobiak, are you there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You take the back row challenge and you come up 2 spots short. Bring it home on the podium tonight. What made you take the back row challenge?
Well, David Konjerski offered me $20, and we wanted to see what we could do. Cautions kind of didn't work in our favor, but that's okay. Still finished 3rd. Started dead last, so that was pretty good.
Well, a great run, especially considering that 20th in this field is a dangerous place to be anytime. But on a big, wide, fast track like this, one little mistake and you could end up junked out pretty fast.
Yeah, we worked the top side all day, avoided the wrecks, and we did pretty good.
Well, a good run for you, man. A solid night all around. 3 weeks left. A little bit of momentum. Going to close the gap on some of these guys?
Yeah, hoping to. Qualified first in both the street stock and limited late models. Looking for a little bit more consistency throughout the following races.
All right, man. Who you got on the car helping you out every week before we let you get out of here?
I want to thank Chris Johnson, David Konjerski, VLR Chassis, RLV, my mom, my dad, my sister, and Faster Motors, and Franklin Motorsports.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congratulations on a great run. Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, thank you.
Third place finisher, Nick Sobiak. Yeah. Let's talk to Mr. Reed Rundle. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I am here.
Well, a win in a second. You can't complain a whole lot. Was a hell of a battle there with you and Andy at the end. Tell us about those restarts, man.
Well, as you've pointed out, rather significantly, he's always good on restarts. So trying to stay with him, and one time I actually kind of felt like I got to jump and backed off, and then laid on, just trying to stay with him. And he did what he had to do there on that last restart. He came up off turn 2 and just pinched me enough, and I certainly didn't want to wreck the entire field, so I backed off and gave it one more shot. But no, it was a good race. It's a lot of good racing. Andy, JJ, Nick coming all the way from the back, that was quite impressive. But then again, he's been proving that week in and week out.
It's still a great night of racing all around for the 43 machine. You got the points lead in the street stocks. You got to do something magical to close this gap here in the late models. What are you going to do?
I'll just keep plugging away. I mean, I might have closed a little bit tonight. I know. I think Nick, got the top spot for qualifying, and I think we both finished the same in the heat. And I might have gained a point or two on him in the feature. But yeah, it's all there. And like I said, we still got those drop weeks.
All right, man. Great run for you. Who's on the car helping you out before we let you get out of here?
Yep, Buddy's Racing Equipment, PF Flyer, Premier Fabricating, Central Services. We'll throw Red Stag in there once in a while, too. They come on board, too. Got to keep me going in the pits.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us, Reed. Look forward to seeing you next week, bud.
Thanks, Roger. As always, thanks for everything.
Your second place finisher, Reed Rundle. We'll move on to the feature winner tonight. Parked his car backwards, so I can't get a good shot of it, but I'm not going to hold that against him. Andy Gross, are you there?
I got you, Roger.
All right, man. Great run. You had to fight these guys off at the end. So tell us about your restarts there late and that 43 car on your outside each and every time.
Yeah, my heart was definitely pounding. I mean, I don't mind restarts, but when you're out there and, the fast way around is right through the middle, you got to make sure that you get there first and you can hit that line every time. I mean, and Reed, he did a hell of a job. We always race each other clean. One of those guys you always can trust to be around.
Well, the good run, this is going to help you with the points a little bit here. With 3 weeks to go, you still in the same mindset? Just got to throw it in there and see what happens?
Yeah, pretty much. I love driving the late models and, kind of really fits my driving style. So, we got 3 weeks to go and hopefully, with the 2 drops and I think that's 5 wins this year.
Yep.
So I think we should be sitting pretty good by the time we get to the end of this thing.
All right, man. Well, some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you go celebrate.
Yeah, as always, I want to thank Nate Novak from Henco Waterjet Supply for all your waterjet needs. Paul Peterson at Shark RC Bodies for your RC drag racing and oval track bodies. Dave Kajerski, Ski Graphics for all your design work, any kind of iRacing wraps, stuff like that. Want to give a shout out to the guys at James E. Bait Raceway watching tonight. I want to thank my wife for letting me do this on a Sunday night. A shout out to my boy Parker, my dad, my mother-in-law, everybody that's watching out there. Another great night. And thanks for the broadcast and Scrub It Up Car Wash for sponsoring the season.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Look forward to seeing you back on track pretty soon, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Roger. Have a night.
You're a winner, Andy Gross. Run through our results here. Reed Rundle second, Nick Sobiek third. Jordan Matson comes home fourth. J.J. Schilling was fifth. Ryan Fisher in sixth. Seventh to Caden Carlson. Eighth, Scott King. Good run for Mr. King tonight. Brandon Hall in ninth. Jared Apel in 10th. 11th to Blake Johnson. 12th, R.J. Tackman. 13th, Kyle Trito. David Kinzerski in 14th. Dean Burnt 15th. 16th to Peter Brees. Jim Butcher in 17th. John Burnside finishes 18th. 19th to Jason Enoch. And rounding out the field, Chris Johnson. So another great night for the Hales Corners guys. Been a fun evening of racing with these guys here at Knoxville. 3 weeks to go in this series. I've enjoyed having Mr. Krieger in the booth with me. Thank you for joining me, Zach.
Thanks for having me. Hopefully I can be able to do this again. And it's definitely a fun night to have on a Sunday night before school starts again.
Ugh. Well, I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I appreciate you being here, man, and we'll definitely talk about you joining us back in the booth again. You're still interested in watching some racing. I know that Dominic is over on the other stream there, and he's got the Dirt Kings guys going. I watched a couple of seconds of that while we were kind of in between races here, and looked like they were having some good racing over there at Volusia. So go check them out. Have a good time. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern, right back here. Dirt Slingers, 360 Wing Sprint Cars, Monday Night Thunder. The guys are at Weed Sport tomorrow night. So be sure you tune in. Dominic will be in the booth with you. Always fun to watch those guys. I have admin duties on Monday night, so I will not be in the booth, but Dominic does a great job. So tune back in for him. Full week of racing, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All this week. Got about 8 more shows to go. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks again to Zach for joining me. For Dominic, myself here at the Dirt Racing Network, until we see you the next time, guys, keep it dirty.